first step when you're installing the modified information file on your M18 or M17X or whatever Alienware you have is make sure you have the updated BIOS. Without this updated BIOS, nothing is going to work. And you'll know you have it, the updated BIOS, because it'll say SWIC, as you just saw, when it boots up. Now this is Windows 10 on the M18XR2. When it boots up, I'll show you real briefly how to modify your information file and install the new graphics card driver. And I've got my screen really dim, mainly because this screen gets crazy bright. I'm going to go ahead and log in. Now from here, we are going to go to our device manager and make sure that the 1060 has actually been installed on the computer. Now I've already installed the updated 1060 driver for this computer with the modified information file. So the moded driver, I've already installed that on this computer. However, if I had not installed it yet, this is how I would know. I would go to Device Manager. I would go to Display Adapters here on Windows 10. And as you can see, it says 1060, 6 gigs, and Intel HD Graphics 4000. Depending on what Alienware laptop you have, whether it be the M17X-R3 or the M18X-R2 or even the M15X, you're going to see that Intel graphics. It's going to be a 4000 series or a 3000 series or something along those lines. If you don't have the proper driver installed, the modified driver for the 1060 or 970M or whatever graphics card you have put in this computer, if you don't have that correct driver installed yet, then what you're going to see is you're going to see Intel graphics, whatever number that is, and right below it, you're going to see generic graphics driver or something. It's not going to actually tell you that you have the 1060 installed or the 970M installed. So to fix that and so that your laptop properly recognizes the graphics card that you have, that's when you have to install the modified information file. So let me go ahead and go to nvidia.com, quickly download the graphics card driver. In this case, I'm not going to download the 1060 because the person on YouTube is asking for the 970M, and I'll show you how to modify the information file so that you can install that graphics card driver on your Windows 10 PC. And again, you have to have the modified BIOS or the updated BIOS for all of this even to work, such as you saw when I booted my computer. .com, as you can see, I am clicking on drivers or hovering my mouse over drivers. I'm going to GeForce drivers. That's what I want. I click on that. I go to not automatic driver updates because remember, the 1060 or the 970M was not designed for these Alienware MX18, MX17, M15X laptops. This was just simply not designed for these laptops. That's why you have to trick the system into agreeing with the actual graphics card. So I'm going to choose product type GeForce, product series. I want to get, in this case, the 900 series M. So let's go down some more. Aha, 900M series for my friend on YouTube. So we're going to click on that. We want the notebook edition. That's what we're trying to get here. And I'm going to download the Windows 10 64-bit one. I'm going to start the search. And I hope it found it. Aha, here we are right here, driver results. So this is going to be the latest July the 9th, 2020 970M graphics card driver download. And then after I download this, I will modify the information file so that whoever wants it can simply download it from my Outlook Cloud, OneDrive I guess it's called, and then just install it. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So I'm going to click download. It's downloading, and when it's done, I'll show you how to modify it. After I've downloaded this file, I went to the file location in my downloads folder to get it. So what I'm going to do here, because I want to modify the information file here and make this 970M graphics card driver compatible with an upgraded Alienware M17 XR3, I suppose, R4. I'm sorry, 4. I believe they had a, yeah, the R4 edition. So what I want to do to make this 970M that I've installed on my M17X is I want to take this graphics card driver. I'm going to slide it out here onto my desktop like so. I'm going to close this downloads folder to get it out of my way, and I'm going to create a new folder on the desktop. On this new folder, I'm going to right click and this menu pops up. I'm going to hover over the menu to the word new. I'm going to click on folder here to make me a new folder. This new folder, I'm going to name it 970M. I'm going to click anywhere off the screen, so off the folder to make it do that. I'm going to right click on this icon here, the new driver that I've downloaded, the 970M driver. I'm going to right click on that. Now I've downloaded a free zip program called 7-Zip. It's totally free. You don't have to pay for it. You download it and then it's automatically on your computer, and then you can just hit right click on these files and you can go to 7-Zip. Slide down here, slide on over, open the archive. I want to see what makes up this file I downloaded, this driver file I downloaded. So as you can see, I've got a lot of stuff in here. So what I'm going to do, this is what makes up that driver I downloaded, is I'm going to hover my mouse into the space to the right. I'm going to drag and drop the mouse over everything I can in this folder. I've got everything. It's all highlighted in blue. So I'm just going to click on one of them, left click, hold the left click down, slide the files into my new 970M folder. That'll take a couple of minutes, maybe not even a minute. When that's done, I'll show you what else to do. Okay, now that all the files have been dragged into the 970M folder from the actual NVIDIA file that I downloaded, the driver that I downloaded, remember how I did that? I basically just went over here to 7-Zip, opened it up, and dragged all of those files in that zip file into my 970M folder. That's how I got as far as I have, okay? So now that I've done this, I'm going to go to the very first folder called display.driver. This is where the file is going to be that I must modify in order for this driver to be compatible with my Dell M18XR2 or M17XR4 or or M15X or what have you. So the file in this display.driver folder that I'm looking for is a file that's specific to Dell laptops. Now there's a lot of information files in here for different brand names, but I need the one that's going to work for my Dell because I have an Alienware and Dell owns Alienware. And that file is the NVDMI file. This is the file that I'm going to have to double click on, and I'm going to have to change some text in this file which will make it compatible with my M18 or M17XR4 laptops, okay? My M18XR2 or my M17 X, I think R3 or R4 laptops. This is how my 970M is compatible with those, or my 1060. So within this file, I'm going to change some text, and that text is going to be, if I scroll down, it's going to say like NVIDIA something, and yeah, there we go, right there. See how it says NVIDIA _ devices? This is the section I want to be in, and I'm going to change the top line here that says NVIDIA _ dev.0fc6.068b, and so on to the end of that first line. All I'm going to have to do is change this first line, possibly a couple more lines that are in another section of this same text file. Okay, now the way I get the information I need to put in here, the way I figure out what that information is that I need is I have already installed the 970M or the 1060 in my Alienware laptop. And prior to installing that video card, that new upgraded video card in my Alienware laptop, I have had to update the BIOS, okay? If I haven't updated the BIOS yet, then my computer is not going to recognize the new card that I put in. I probably wouldn't get this far because my computer would have been beeping saying that you have some foreign object in me that I don't recognize. So again, to get this far, you would have had to already update your BIOS to the modified one, which I did. So here we are, we've gotten this far, the BIOS is updated. All I have to do is modify the information file in the NVIDIA driver file that I downloaded by unzipping it into a new folder. The NVDMI file is what I'm having opened right now. And so what I need to do to figure out what I need to put here in this top line, because I'm going to change this top line, The way I figure out what I need to change it to is I'm going to go down here to my search bar in Windows 10. I'm going to type in Device Manager. Okay. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on Display Adapters because the display adapter is my 970M or 1060. And in my computer, since I've already installed the driver, the modified driver, you're going to see that it recognizes my graphics card as a 1060 6 gig. And it works great because it recognizes what the card is because I've installed the modified driver. However, because you haven't installed the driver yet, the modified driver, yours is going to say Intel HD Graphics 3000, 4000, whatever the case may be, and that's what your computer is using right now to put something on the screen so you can see what's going on. It's not using your dedicated GPU, your nice graphics card that you've upgraded to. So instead of 1060 or 970 in this section right here, your computer should say generic display adapter or basic generic display adapter or something like that. And you want it to say 970 or 1060 because that's what you actually installed. And until it says that, Windows is going to treat it like a very weak, pathetic graphics card. Okay? So from this picture here, we're going to pretend it says generic or basic graphics, driver or whatever. Generic card or something. So I'm going to right click on that, right below Intel Graphics. I'm going to go to Properties. I'm going to then go to Details, and I am going to click on this menu, drop Device Description. I'm going to click on that. It's going to pull down a drop-down menu. It's going to have something called Hardware IDs, which is third from the top. This is the information I need to be able to know what to now type in to this information file over here. So I'm going to minimize that. This is for the 1060. Now I would need the 970 hardware ID for those of you that have 970s. So my nephew John was kind enough to send me a picture of his hardware ID for his 970M. So I'm going to use that because there's somebody on YouTube right now that needs that 970M properly installed or to have the driver installed on their computer. So let me hit X. Let me slide my information file over here to the left, which is in my folder here. Alright, and here's the picture that my nephew sent me that has his hardware ID for his 970M 6 gig version. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull my information file back up, my NVDMI file that was in my unzipped folder. I'm going to click on the picture that he sent me. There's the information I need right there. And so the hardware ID for the GTX 970 in his Alienware M17X R4 is, I'm going to use this second line right here, okay? I'm going to go over here to the first line. I'm going to look how these are paired. So you got 10DE. The only things I need is the 10DE, the 13D8, the 0551, the 1028. That's all I need. So I'm going to look at this one. Again, all I need is the 10DE, the 13D8, the 0551, and the 1028. That's what I'm going to use. Over here, again, 1028's already there. I don't have to do anything. But over here, I do have to do something because I have, let's see, 10DE. 10DE. So I'm going to go over here to section 1. I'm going to type in, without confusing you, this is going to be the easier thing to do. So look over here at the second line again. See where it says 0551, 0551, 1028, 0551, 1028. Over here it says 1028, so right here let's put 0551. 0551. Now when you get back over here, see where it says 13D8? Well, let's go back over here and type 13D8. Okay? So it may be, it's the same order. What I'm trying to get at is this is the same order. 1, 2, 3. Go over here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, since I've done my left side, I have to do the right side too. So it's the same thing. Since I've already typed it over here, 13D8. What I'm going to do right here is type in 13D8. Then over here, let's see here. No, I shouldn't have done that. Forgive me. 10. It's been so long since I've done this, I've almost forgot how to do it. 13D8 0551 1028. This is where I need to put it right here. 13D8 0551 1028. 13D8 subsystem 0551 1028. This all stays the same. As you can see, it's the same on every line. That's why I changed it back. This all stays the same. So now I've modified this driver. That's all I needed to do as far as that is concerned. Okay, it's not over yet. So let me magnify this. Let me copy this whole entire line that I've modified. This is what I need. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to scroll down and see if there's another section that looks exactly like this one. Sometimes there's like 2 or 3 sections, and you have to do this to each one of those sections. In this case, I don't think there is. They've changed it up a little bit with these new drivers. But if this new driver doesn't work, you can always download the old one. Alright, so I'm not seeing anything that looks even remotely similar. Nope. So there's one more section I want to modify, and that is when you go to edit, you're going to go to find, and you're going to type in this word called strings, but you got to put brackets in front of it. So bear with me while I try to reach over here. Sorry, bracket. Strings, and then put another bracket. Okay. Gotta find next. I can't believe there's nothing called strings in here. They've changed their information files in these new updated drivers. And I don't have a computer to practice on with a 970 right now. Let's go back up to the top. Ah, there we go. Okay. Found the word strings. Okay, so this right here. When you look at the word strings, we're going to have to change. We're going to have to find the 970. You can see this driver I downloaded is good for lots of different graphics cards. The 650s, the 780s, the Titan 780s, 780 Ti's, etc. It's just a bunch of extra information. So now I need to go find the 970M on this list. So let's just scroll on down till we find the 970M. Keep on going, keep on the 960, 970, 980, 970M. Remember, the 970 and the 970M are different, so you want to make sure you're going to change the line on the 970M. So I found there's 3 970Ms. I just need to change one of them, not all 3 of them. And as you can see over here, see where it again says 13D8, 05AB, 1028. I need to change these 2 sections right here. So I'm going to go back over here to my picture, open it up. I need 13D8, 13D8, so let's go ahead and do that one first. We're going to do the first 970. 13D8 is already there, see? Now I need 0551 1028. 0551 1028, so I'm going to change that. 0551 1028, and that equals 970M. So now when you install the driver, it's like, okay, we're going to match up this 0551 1028 to your new car that you just installed. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go all the way back up to the top just to make sure everything looks kosher. Here we go. 13D8 0551 1028. Yeah, everything looks good there. So now I'm going to save this file. File, save. I have saved it. Now I have modified the driver. That's all it took to modify the driver. Now, like I said, since I don't have something to practice on, I don't have a laptop, an M17 or an M18 with a 970, you're going to have to let me know if this works or not. It does work for the upgraded 1060. I can't guarantee it's going to work for the 1070. If not, though, again, I have a pre-modified 970M driver you can download, and I'll leave the link for that. And the reason I say this is because every information file that I've seen up to this point has 3 sections I have to modify, and this one only has 1. This section right here. So I think they're just doing something a little different. Let me copy this. Edit. Find that. Find next. Let's go. Let's see if we can find it up. Yeah, okay, that's the only part of the document that has it. So again, I've saved it, and I will upload it to the cloud. You can download it. Now, the next part after that is finished, now that I've done this, is to actually install it. Now, you cannot install a video card driver that we've modified. Your computer will reject it unless you're running your computer with driver signature enforcement disabled. I'm going to say this again. Unless you have driver signature enforcement disabled on your laptop, when you go to install this modified file, this one in this folder here, your laptop will say, nope, can't do it. It'll look like it's about to install it, but then it'll have an error that says, you know, we ran into some issues. So let me go ahead and delete this file because I no longer need it. I've already dragged all the files that were in that in my 970M folder. I've already clicked on display driver folder. I've already clicked on the NVDMI file in here, and I've already modified it, as you saw. I've already saved that file that I modified. So when I restart my computer here in a minute, what I'm going to want to do is go down to the setup file. You can right click it, you can run it as administrator, you know, all that's good. Run it as admin. So when I restart my computer, again, all the folder that you drug those files into, you're going to click on it. You're going to go down to the very bottom of that folder. You're going to run as administrator the setup file to install your new graphics card driver. But your computer won't let you do that. It'll reject it unless, again, you have driver signature enforcement disabled. How do I do that? Well, I click on the start button here. Click on the power button there. And I hover my mouse over the restart. Now, I'm going to hold down the shift key. Hold it down and then click restart. Now you can let it go. It's going to say, please wait. And we're going to wait for the computer to restart. So it says, please wait, and then it goes to this blue screen right here because I held the shift key down that says troubleshoot. Continue, exit, continue to Windows 10, or troubleshoot. So on the restart, I'm going to say, nah, I need to reset your PC or see advanced options. I'm going to hit enter on troubleshoot. I'm not going to reset my PC. I don't want to lose everything I have on it. So I'm going to click on advanced options. Click enter. From that point, you're going to go over here to say what I want to do is startup settings. That's what I want to choose. Startup settings. Change Windows startup behavior. That's what I want to do. So hit enter there. And then you get this menu. Hey man, when I restart it now, I can enable safe mode. Well, I can also disable, guess what? Driver signature enforcement. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to restart the computer. When I restart the computer, I get an option from 1 to 9, and what I want to do to install my new graphics card, I want to choose number 7, Disable Driver Signature Enforcement. When I click on the number 7 button, it's going to start my computer up with Disabled Driver Signature Enforcement. At that point, because now I'm going to just hit enter and return to my operating system because I don't have to do that. At that point, I can go back into my folder, my 970 folder, click on the setup file, run it as administrator. As the file is installing, eventually you're going to get a pop-up message that says, hey, this driver is not signed. It's not authentically signed or digitally signed. Are you sure you want to install this driver? You're going to say, yes, I want to install this driver. Windows may not have it digitally signed. That's okay. But still go on and tell it to install the driver, and voila. Then when you go into Device Manager, when it's done, your computer will recognize that you have the 970, the 1060, the 1070, or whatever it was that you put in your computer that was compatible. Okay?